This is the Carty Method Podcast.
Hey, welcome to the Carty Method Podcast. I've been a pro photographer for 34 years. In that time, I've worked with brands like Nike and Apple, and I've shot covers and editorials for all kinds of international magazines. My career wasn't built on luck, or by chasing every possible opportunity out there. Nope. It was built on decisions, deciding on what I wanted, and then cutting out all distractions and actually choosing to focus. Early on in my career, I learned that overchoice, the overwhelming number of options that we face every single day, actually leads to mediocrity at best. It leads to average work, average results, and average careers. And if you're like me, average doesn't cut it. For some, overchoice is the actual reason for indecision. And indecision is actually inaction in disguise. So here's a plan for today. I want to help you identify the paralyzing effect of overchoice on your photography career and your life. More importantly, I'm going to show you how to decide, not choose, but to decide how to take control of your career, how to focus on what matters, and how to actually move the needle forward towards some real success. I promise by the end of this episode today, you're going to have the actionable steps to cut through the noise, to stop chasing distractions, and to finally get your photography business and your life on track. This is about transformation. Deciding to change your habits, your mindset, and deciding to change your business approach will actually separate you from the sea of photographers out there that are stuck in indecision and mediocrity. For the big brains, let's get into the word decide. To decide means to make a firm and deliberate choice, but its root definition goes way deeper. The word decide comes from the Latin decidere, which means literally to cut off. When you decide, you're not just picking an option, you're severing all other possibilities. It's a commitment to a single path where you eliminate distraction, you eliminate doubt, and you eliminate second guessing. Deciding is an act of clarity and focus because once you've made that decision, all other potential actions are removed from the equation. So, in essence, to decide is to sever ties with indecision, with the overwhelming number of options, and to fully commit to moving forward with intention. That's where real progress is made. We make a decision after gathering information because the process of decision making isn't about blindly picking a path. It's about informed commitment. When we gather relevant information, when we weigh our options and understand our potential outcomes, we can make a decision with actual confidence. And when you have enough information, you cut off all other alternatives and you decide. That step is crucial because when you're lingering in the gathering phase, in the information gathering phase, when you continue to explore every possible option without moving forward, that leads to complete overchoice, and that leads to indecision, and indecision is paralyzing. So it's not about endlessly collecting data or waiting for the perfect moment. Instead, it's about gathering what's essential, evaluating it, and then deciding, fully committing to a direction by cutting off all distractions and all alternatives. That clarity allows you to move forward with focus and purpose, which is where real growth happens in both life and in business. So here's another big brain move. Replace the word choose in your vocabulary and replace it with decide. I've been doing my best to replace the word choose when I'm discussing anything that matters. If you're picking a restaurant, choose one. If you're picking a niche for your photography career, That's kind of important. That you're going to have to decide on. So let's talk about specializing. Specializing in one area versus trying to do it all. The most common trap that I see photographers falling into is trying to do it all. When you first pick up a camera, it's natural to explore all different types of photography. You want to shoot weddings, you want to shoot portraits, maybe landscapes, maybe you want to shoot some events. You name it, you've done it. And it's a great way to learn. But at a certain point, you want to make the jump from hobbyist to professional, or from an underperforming pro to a thriving one. When you want to make that jump, you have to decide to specialize. So this is why deciding to specialize matters. This is why it's so important. Let's think about it. When a client's looking to hire a photographer for a specific job, who do they want? Somebody who dabbles in 10 different types of photography? Or do they want someone who's mastered their craft in an area that they need? They want an expert. The more that you spread yourself thin, the harder it becomes to be exceptional at any one thing. And clients can sense that. So here's a real world example. Early in my career, I shot everything. I thought being a jack of all trades was the key to getting more work. But you know what happens? When you do that, you get known for nothing. Clients didn't know what I was best at because I hadn't decided what I was best at. When I finally made the decision to focus on fashion, editorial, commercial, portraiture, everything changed. My portfolio became a razor sharp, and the clients that I wanted to work with, high-end brands and magazines, saw that my work was a perfect fit for their needs. So, how to decide on your niche? How do you decide on your niche? First, you got to look at your past work. What kind of photography makes you feel alive? What do clients constantly praise you for? What kind of work do you want to be doing 5 years from now? Decide on the photography type that aligns with your long-term goals. And once you've made that decision, you have to commit to it. This isn't a decision that you make lightly, eh? It's not one that you can change every month. Deciding to specialize means that you're going to pour all your energy into mastering that niche. You're going to research it, you're going to study it, and you're going to shoot it until you know the ins and outs better than anybody else. So, here's your actionable step. And what I want you to do actually right now, go through your portfolio and select the top 20 images that reflect the type of work that you want to be known for. And then cut out everything else. Remove the work that doesn't align with your speciality. Once you've done that, start telling your clients and your network that this is your focus now. Update your website, update your social media, and start pushing your expertise in that one area. It might feel scary, but trust me, it's one of the most important decisions that you'll ever make in your career. By deciding to specialize, you're making yourself more valuable to the clients who actually matter. Number 2. There's some real decision fatigue when it comes to client acquisition. The next area where Overchoice cripples photographers is in client acquisition. I can't tell you how many photographers that I've spoken to who are stuck in a state of indecision when it comes to reaching out to potential clients. They don't know what to say. They don't know who to approach. And they get overwhelmed with options, which actually leads to inaction. Guess what? Inaction means no clients. So this is how decision fatigue is killing your client pipeline. So what happens when you sit down and send out emails to potential clients? Maybe you might start overthinking every word. Should I introduce myself this way? Should I include a link to this portfolio or that one? Should I mention my rates, or should I Should I leave it for later? Before you know it, 30 minutes have passed and you haven't sent a single email. That's decision fatigue and it's costing you money. It's actually costing you money. The reality is, the more that you overthink those decisions, the less likely you are to take action. And no action means no results. Hey, Dario, welcome. So here's the fix. Creating systems for client outreach. It's so simple. Create a system and decide once. That means you sit down, you craft an email template that works for your niche, and you stick with it. No more tweaking every single time that you reach out. Once you've decided on your reach out approach, the key is consistency. In phase 4 of the Carty method, I walk my photography soon to be pros through setting up workflows that eliminate decision fatigue. Like decision fatigue is what we're trying to eliminate. We create email templates that are personalized and repeatable. And I use tools like Indie to manage clients, and I use Score app to generate leads and qualify them automatically. And I have a system. These systems ensure that you're spending your time on the clients that matter the most, not wasting time overthinking your outreach. So here's your actionable step. It's super simple what you should do. You should sit down today and write a few cold email templates. Keep them simple. A personal introduction. Keep it real, not robotic. Mention why you're reaching out. Be specific and be relevant to them. What value can you bring? What value is on the table? Focus on solving their problems, not what you want, and end with a soft ask. Don't ask for work right away. Ask for a short Zoom meeting to discuss potential opportunities. Now, once you've written this template, use it. Every day, send out 3 to 5, 10, 20 emails using this template. The key is in consistent action, not endless tweaking. So you've already made the decision. Now all you got to do is follow through. The more you streamline your client outreach, the easier it'll be to build momentum and to close deals. And by the way, if you're not confident with crafting cold emails, don't worry. I've done all the heavy lifting. I've crafted 18 email templates that actually work. You can get my cold reach out template pack at the Carty method. I put a link in the video description below. So, number 3 is your gear, by the way, doesn't make the photo. You do. Your gear doesn't do anything. I've seen so many photographers in this gear obsession thing. I get it. I've been there. I love gear. You think that if you had that latest camera, that newest lens, or that most expensive lighting setup, your images would be better. Your clients would pay more and your career, is going to skyrocket. But here's the cold, hard truth. Your gear doesn't make any photos. You do. So there's a trap, the trap of gear obsession. Photographers often fall into the trap of thinking that their gear is what's holding them back. It's easy to think that if you just had that one extra tool, you'd finally be able to make the pictures that you've always dreamed of. But the reality is, gear is never the problem. Your creativity, your skill, and your ability to execute an idea are what sets you apart, not the camera that you're using. I've shot some of my absolute best work with the most basic equipment. When you know how to control light, when you understand composition, and when you have a clear vision for your images, the gear becomes secondary. Don't get me wrong. Good gear can make things a lot easier, but it's not a suitable substitute for skill. So I'm just going to take a little sidebar here and show you some early photography. And early photography meaning photos that I shot on film, and also photos that I've shot on digital and early digital. So let's say Pharrell Williams, this is shot on film. So this session, and if you look at my session of Pharrell, this is like my most stolen session. This is shot on Hasselblad. 500 cm classic. This is shot on Hasselblad, 500 cm classic. I shot this in 2001. So this is a 23-year-old image. And I shot this on 35 millimeter on the Canon EOS 650. So this is old technology. This is film. Let's go a little bit further. This is Sierra shot on a Canon Rebel. A Canon Rebel at 6 megapixels. Sierra shot for a magazine cover at 6 megapixels. One of my favorite examples of that is Fat Joe. Fat Joe, I shot again on a 6 megapixel camera. 6 megapixels. Can you tell that this is shot on a 6 megapixel camera 22 years ago? So the whole point about cameras and technology, it's like it's just a tool. It's just a tool. And for me, early on, my biggest stress was this is Hasselblad. This is shot at 6 megapixels. This is Hasselblad. This is Hasselblad. This is shot at 6 megapixels. This is probably shot at maybe 10 megapixels. So you see, it is not the camera, because when you're looking at this work, you can't tell and you wouldn't know what picture was shot with what camera. This is shot film and 6. Oh no, that was shot film. This is shot film. Film. A lot of these, this is film. No, John Legend, maybe I think I shot John Legend on a 6 megapixel camera. So it so isn't about the gear. It so isn't about the gear. And people ask me how do I break free from gear obsession? First, you have to decide on that, decide that what you have is enough. If in fact what you have is enough, decide that what you have is enough. Stop scrolling through camera websites. Stop watching endless YouTube camera reviews and gear reviews, and start focusing on what really matters, which is executing your ideas. You don't need the latest and greatest to create exceptional work. What you do need is a clarity of vision and the skill to bring that vision to life with the tools that you already have. So here is some actionable steps for you. And again, what I think that you should do, pick a day this week where you go out and shoot using only the bare essentials. I'm talking one camera, one lens, natural light, no strobe, no flash, no fancy modifiers, no extra gadgets. The goal is to push yourself creatively with what you already have. Focus entirely on composition. Focus entirely on storytelling, and focus on executing an idea. Let your creativity drive the shoot, not the gear. If you do this exercise, not only will it free you from the mindset of I need more in order to do better, it'll also remind you that you're the artist, not your equipment. Look, I got an R5 right over there. Got an R5 right there. It's just sitting there. It won't do a single thing until I pick it up and point it at one of my ideas. Cameras just sit there. They're just really expensive paperweights. That's all they are. They're the world's most expensive paperweight until you execute an idea with them. And then they're an incredibly powerful storytelling tool. But it's just a camera. Don't make such a big deal over it. Here's another thing that photographers and creatives do. It's this thing I like to call analysis paralysis when it comes to your portfolio. So your portfolio, for most photographers, for creatives, analysis paralysis sets in hard when it comes to curating your portfolio. I mean, I feel it for sure. You have too many images, too many styles, and you're afraid to make cuts. The result? A bloated portfolio that confuses potential clients more than it convinces them to hire you. So a confusing portfolio hurts your career. When a client looks at your portfolio, they're not trying to figure out how good you are as a photographer. They already assume that you're good if they're looking at your work. What they want to know is, are you the right photographer for their needs? If your portfolio is all over the place, weddings, portraits, landscapes, product shots, how can they tell what you specialize in? They can't. And that uncertainty is costing you jobs. So here's the fix. You need to decide to simplify your portfolio. That means cutting out all the noise and focusing on only the work that aligns with your chosen niche. If you want to be hired for commercial portraiture, then your portfolio should only showcase that. If you want to shoot fashion editorials, then include only fashion work. Everything else has to go. Your actionable step, we'll turn it into a little assignment for you. Go through your portfolio and ruthlessly edit. Get rid of anything that doesn't align with your niche. You should aim for a lean, focused portfolio of 20, 30 images that tell a clear story of what you do best. Once you've made the cuts, update your website and social media to reflect this new simplified portfolio. You want your clients to see your best work in the niche that you've decided to specialize in. You guys with me so far? You still with me? You too? And number 5 is you got to embrace the power of less. At the end of the day, what we're really talking about is the power of less. Too many options, too many distractions, too many directions, like that leads to mediocrity. But when you decide to cut through the noise in your portfolio, when you decide to focus on fewer things and do them exceptionally well, that's when the real growth happens. That's when you stop being average as a photographer, and that's when you start being great. So overchoice truly is the enemy of success. We live in a world of overchoice, too many options, too much noise. And as photographers, this is paralyzing for us. Should we shoot weddings? Should I shoot portraits? Should I invest in a new lens? Should I upgrade my lighting system? Should I send this email? Should I send that email? The more choices that we have, the harder it becomes to make decisive, impactful moves. And the longer you stay stuck in indecision, the more you're holding yourself back. So here's the fix. Decide to do less better. Decide to do less, only better. The solution isn't to do more, it's to do less better. This means deciding to focus on what truly matters most in your business and in your photography craft. It means saying no to distractions. It means cutting out all unnecessary options and putting all your energy into the few things that will actually move the needle forward. So here's your task. Identify one area of your photography business or your creative business that feels overwhelming right now. Is it client outreach? Is it gear obsession? Is it managing your portfolio? Decide to simplify that area. Cut out all the distractions and focus on what's really important. If it's client outreach, focus on sending 5 personalized emails every day. Send 10, send 20, instead of agonizing over every word. If it's your portfolio, ruthlessly edit down to only your best work within your chosen niche. So, I'm begging you to stop choosing and to start deciding. Here's the bottom line. You can choose to stay stuck in overchoice, stuck in indecision, stuck in mediocrity. Or you can decide to change. You can decide today to take your photography business seriously. You can decide to simply focus, to simplify, and finally start seeing real results. Decide to get your photography business and your photography life on track. This is your career, your livelihood, your life. You only get one shot at this. And if you're ready to make the leap, now is the time to take action. So what you can do, go to thecartymethod.com, pick up a digital tool. Whether it's my Score app I didn't develop Score app, but in the link in the video description, I have Score app, a link there. I use that for lead generation. I've made videos on lead generation on autopilot. Nobody watched them. You know what I mean? It's like people just want to watch the stuff that they think is cool related to their photography career. They don't want to watch the stuff that actually gets them work. For me, I spend so much time on the stuff that actually will make you a pro, will actually get you work. I'm not like flipping knives and like blowing fire and all that shit. Like, I'm just giving you real information. But again, sometimes real information might be boring. And if you have a small attention span, totally cool. Just watch someone else, but know that the people who have the attention span to get this far in this video, that watch my podcast, that soak it all in, that make notes, those are the people who send me a message and be like, yo, I've made 10 grand from just watching your podcast. Like, I learned the 3 magic words. I learned how to bill for my gear. Like, anyways, you got to watch my content. So use Indie for client management. Use Score app for lead generation. I have links in my video description. I share tools and make tools that will simplify your business and free you up to focus on what really matters. Links in my video description. There's so many good links in the show notes. And you can easily book me for a strategy session where we sit down and talk about how you can start changing reality today. I help identify the areas where you're stuck, and together we create a plan to help you move forward. I also created a pro photographer's readiness scorecard where you get to ask yourself, how ready am I to be an actual pro? This scorecard is going to show you where you stand, like where you need to improve and what you need to do in order to take your career to the next level. It's so funny. I have the scorecard. Imagine this. These are the stats. Of all the people who come to the page, literally, I want you to grab this. Like 20% of the people who come to my Score app start. 20%. They go there, but they don't take the test. Okay. Of the people who start the test, this is breaking my brain. Of the people who start the test, literally like 50-ish people finish, 50% of the people finish, 50% of the people abandon. And guess what? The question that more people abandon in my how ready are you to be a pro is, are you active on social media? Yes or no? Are you active on social media? Yes or no? Guess what happens when a photographer sees that question? They go like this. They just peace out. By the way, if you're wondering why your career is not working and you can't even answer 40 questions about your career and why your career might not be working, and you get a question, you just like, I don't want to be on social media. And you just like, you just peace out because you don't want to be on Instagram. Listen. Totally cool. But for the photographers who stay with it and actually finish, you have like, again, of the 100% of photographers who say they want to be a photographer, they buy gear and they start, like 84% of them fail in the first year. So of the 16% that make it to the second year, over half of them fail in that second year. Hey, somebody bought the Supreme embroidered hoodie. Did you see my hoodie and want it? Yo, thank you. Did you see my hoodie and just be like, yo, I need that? Thank you for copying the hoodie. I just got mine yesterday. The embroidered is dopey. You can get yours. These collections are all limited edition, by the way. I put them up on a whim and I cut them on a whim. So if you want to cop something, cartymethodshop.com. So here's the thing. You can decide to stop your bullshit. And you can decide to start taking your photography business seriously. You can take your creative business seriously. This is absolutely your life. But let me help you make the most of it. Stop choosing. Stop choosing today and start deciding. Start deciding right now. So, we've covered how overchoice is silently destroying your career. But before I go, I want to mention something important. I've developed a 6-phase comprehensive system specifically designed to help photographers and creatives like you turn your passion into a sustainable, working, professional career. This system walks you through everything from defining your niche and building a powerful portfolio to mastering the business side of photography. Now, I'm looking for the right type of photographers, those with the right attitude and the right drive to take their career to the next level. And if it sounds like you, and if you're serious about making photography work for you, please go to thecartymethod.com and see how I can help you. Please book a free consultation. And I provide free, valuable content right here multiple times per week, tailored specifically for emerging and struggling creative pros. So if you're obsessed about becoming a professional photographer or a professional creative, make sure that you subscribe and stay locked in. And by the way, if this video today has brought you any value at all, or even a little bit of entertainment, please hit the like button so YouTube pushes it out to more people. That way I can help more creatives just like you on their journey. And if you're looking for more content, by the way, to help you grow, make sure you watch another video. I break down actionable steps to help you level up your photography career. By the way, guys, thank you for making it this far. It says a lot about you. Thanks so much for watching.
This commercial-free live stream was brought to you by the members of this channel. If it wasn't for you, we'd have to fill up these live streams with ads that would just interrupt the flow. The members of this channel make commercial-free content during these live streams possible. Consider becoming a member for $5 a month today to gain access to secret live streams, live chats, and to show your support with that crown badge next to your name. Sharing is caring. If this content has brought you value today, share it, clip it, post it to your socials. Curating and sharing helpful content makes you an expert, even if the content you're sharing isn't yours. Be a curator and share this content with your network. If you're an emerging or struggling photographer that's trying to break free from your current 9-to-5 grind and transition to the life of a working pro photographer, that's our obsession here at the Carty Method. Register, get the support you need. If you're alone and struggling at this craft, make sure you join the Carty Method community. You'll always find help in the show notes. Subscribe on Apple Podcasts and Spotify. Find your creative and business genius with the Carty Method.
Hey, if you made it to the very end of this, that says that you are part of the 1% that actually likes finishing things. Always like to give bonuses for people who make it to the end. Just so you know, this week we are doing photo reviews on Tuesday and Thursday. Tuesdays are now fundamentals reviews, where I look at you, the emerging or brand new photographer. I look at your work and I put out a very loose assignment. In order to submit, you need to be a part of my YouTube submission community. How you do that is simply by going to thecartymethod.com, click YouTube submissions at the top of the page and sign up. That will give you access to my submission community where you could submit up to 4 times per month, and you have 2 assignments to choose from. You have a fundamentals assignment and a pro assignment. The pro assignment is specifically geared to people who are close to and wanting to be professional photographers. If you're emerging or just love photography and you'd like someone's eyes on your work, submit to my fundamentals review. I hope to see you in the community. That's where we go now. We have a mentorship community. Go to the Carty Method and sign up, register, join my communities, and sign up for photo submissions. Thank you, Alice, for being here.